Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. It is another meal prep video. So these are meals that I've made for my week. I hope they inspire you to get in the kitchen and cook keto.
On this journey we will find our souls begin to intertwine. Your heart of gold so pure, divine, and I lost myself within the fire, breaking free from my desire. A heart of gold forged to inspire. It's starfire.
Hi guys, this is what we have on the menu today. So let's get started. I did do a little mini grocery haul today. I didn't need a whole lot from the grocery store this week. So this is just some odds and ends that I picked up. Now you will notice there are some non-keto items in here, and that's because my husband does more of a low carb plan versus a totally keto plan. So this is what we got at the grocery store this week. So our first meal this week is going to be fried fish. Now this is local fresh walleye that my nephew had caught earlier in the season that we had frozen. These were two huge fillets that I cut into 3 pieces each. And then I am just going to get the egg washed together. So this is just 2 eggs. I'm going to mix those up and then add in the seasonings. Real simple, easy, down-home recipe. In the past, when I'd made fried fish, I'd always used cornmeal. Well, everybody knows we can't have cornmeal on keto. So I decided to try the almond flour and a little bit of the coconut flour. I was very skeptical about this recipe, guys. When you're used to certain crunch and certain flavors on some of your meals, and I contemplated using pork rinds on this, but just decided that I didn't really want to have the pork rind texture. I wanted it more of a flour cornmeal texture. So that's why I went with the almond flour and the coconut flour. So it's basically a 1/4 cup of almond flour that I put in here, and then 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. I didn't want too much coconut flour because it does tend to add that sweet taste. Then I'm just seasoning these up with the seasonings that I put in. The same seasonings that I put in the eggs, I'm putting in the flour. And then I'm just going to dredge the fillets. So I'm just going to dredge these fillets up. So I'm going to go egg and flour on the first one, and then I didn't think that it was sticking very well. So then I decided to do the flour mixture, egg, and then flour again. Then I'm just going to fry these up in my cast iron skillet. I love my cast iron. I know a lot of you don't use cast iron for whatever reason, but my cast iron is some that I have had for years. But the pan that I'm using today is just something that I got as a Christmas gift. It's just Walmart Lodge cast iron. And after utilizing it for a while, it is basically non-stick. So I'm going to add a little bit of butter in it and get that melting as you saw earlier in the video. And then we're just going to keep breading the fish and get it in the pan. Now my pan is hot. The whole time that I'm breading the fish, this has been heating up. So I'm just putting it in. This just has melted butter in it, nothing else. And I'm just going to put the fillets in, get them moved around so I can get that last piece in. Oh, I can't wait to try this. This is going to be so good. I've been craving fish. All right, all in the pan. Now, because the almond and the coconut flour has already started to absorb some of the butter, I am just putting a few other pieces in to make sure that we have enough oil in the pan. You don't want to dry fry your fish, guys. You want to have some grease in the bottom of the pan. All right, just going to put a lid on this to get the middle of it cooked through. And here we have it. This is almost done. I take the lid off after turning it and then turn it back and let it just kind of crisp up. I don't want my breading soggy. I want it crispy. For a side, I'm just adding some green beans with cheese, and I'm going in with a little bit of my bacon fat that I always have saved, just to add a little bit of flavor to those green beans. Nothing better than green beans and bacon. I just put that in the microwave for a few seconds for a quick, easy side. Just flipping these up to make sure both sides are all crispy, crunchy goodness. I talk about my cast iron, and let me just tell you that when this is done, cast iron is really easy to clean. Everybody is worried about it. I just scrape out anything that I have left in it, wash it up with a little soap water, a little scrub with a stainless steel scrubby pad, good to go. Rinse it out, then I put it back on the pan or on the stove to let it dry out, and then a little bit of oil. All right, here's the finished product of the fish. Look at that, it's flaky goodness. Oh guys, I can't tell you how good this was. I was totally shocked at the texture and flavor that almond and coconut flour made. Alright, I just made up some spicy nuts here, guys. Now this is really easy and simple. I just mixed all of these ingredients together with a can of spicy nuts, just probably like a half a teaspoon, if even that, of some olive oil, and put it in this container. This is an old Parmesan cheese container, so I can just dump them out to go. So this week I decided to make a pork chop casserole with riced cauliflower, broccoli, mushrooms, heavy cream, and cheese. So I got some pork chops that I had bought and froze, package of broccoli, some mushroom stock, riced cauliflower. This is the heavy whipping cream with a little bit of the mushroom stock in it. When I cooked up my mushrooms last week, I cooked them in some water and ended up making a mushroom stock out of them, and I just bagged it up and froze it. So in the bottom of the pan, I'm just mashing up the cauliflower and rice, get it all spread out. Then I'm going to dump in my broccoli and give it a good spread it out across the bottom. Then in's going to go the mushrooms after I kind of break them up a little bit. I just used my spatula, and kind of gave them a little break up there. They are still frozen. Spread those out across. Then I'm going to grab my little whiskey whisk. I love my little whisk. I don't even know where I got it, but I love it, and I wish I had a couple of more. And I'm going to whisk together the mushroom broth with my heavy whipping cream, add a little bit of flavor seasonings to it. That's the no salt seasoning, and then of course I'll go in with salt and pepper also. And then this, guys, I'm just going to pour it over the top. Had to get the salt and pepper. And then this is just going to pour over the top of the cauliflower, the broccoli, and the mushrooms. So basically I'm kind of making my own cream of mushroom soup. If you guys don't have a good pair of kitchen shears, I suggest you get a pair. These were a pair that I bought, I believe, at Dollar Tree, and I use them all the time in my kitchen. So I have 3 pork chops here, and I'm just going to season them up with some salt and pepper. They're going to go on top of the veggies, and then the casserole is going to go into the oven. I have preheated the oven at 350 degrees. I'm going to cook these probably for around 30 minutes. If they're a little underdone at this point, I'm okay with that because these are all meals that I'm going to reheat. So I'd rather have them a little more on the underdone side so that when I reheat them, I don't have a really dry, overcooked pork chop. All right, gonna grab some tin foil, and that's gonna go over the top of these, and we're good to go. Gonna go in the oven like I said, and then we will show you the end product. This looks so good. I cannot wait to eat it this week. It's getting that time of year with the change of the seasons, cooler weather, and I love me some casseroles. So there I go with the tin foil. Then I'm just going to add some shredded cheese to the top, put the lid back on, and let it all melt up to ooey gooey deliciousness. And there it is. That is going to be so amazing this week. All right, next up we have the butter cheeseburgers, guys. I was trying to mimic kind of the Culver's cheeseburgers, and they make a butter burger. So I had 2 pounds of ground beef that I'd taken out of the freezer, and I added in about 4 tablespoons of butter and then some shredded cheese. I'm cooking in my favorite cast iron skillet. I love my cast iron skillet. And what I put in here for fat was some bacon fat. Everything's better with bacon fat. Bacon fat rules, guys. I'm just heating up my cast iron skillet as I mix in the cheese and butter into the ground beef here, and then I am just making up some patties. I'm super excited to try these. I haven't ever done this before. This is a brand new concept to me. And when you make your patties, I always do in the middles, because that when you cook hamburger, it will bubble up in the middle. But if you didn't in, it makes you a flat burger at the end. So just a little tip there. So that's what you see me doing. I'm always punching in the middle. So 2 pounds of burger made 6 patties. And then I'm just seasoning them up with salt and pepper and a little bit of my no salt seasoning, which I put on everything, as you guys know. And just gonna keep frying up the burgers. All right, and then halfway through, I got all the burgers in one pan. This pan that's over here smoking, don't panic. I had just washed it and I am drying it. So all that is not smoke coming off of there. That's actually steam because there was still water in it. And these burgers are done. So I'm just going to take them out of the skillet and put them in the container for this week. So we've got and we're done, guys. So thanks for joining me.